I need to know whether all the blood, sweat and tears is actually paying off and is getting me closer to the Paralympic Games.
I don't usually do this. Dim the lights down, don't play stupid. Must have had me
That was one of the roughest things.
Cause when I enter the rave, I'm so low. Leave with a bitch, no.
Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Thought I would show you guys behind the scenes of what a testing week looks like and explain a little bit along the way about why it's relevant and why it's important for my journey to LA. So yeah, come with me.
Testing week. It's an opportunity for me and my trainers to test in standardised tests: swim, bike and run. A swim test of 400 metres and 200 metre time trials, a bike test of 20 minutes all out on the bike, and a 5k run for time. Now these tests give us results, will make my training harder if I improve, and will give us direction with my training going forward. I need to know whether I'm actually making any progress with all this training. Is the training I'm doing paying off? Can I do more? Can I give more? Am I getting closer to the end goal of the Paralympic Games? Testing week for me comes up about roughly every 6 weeks, and it's a chance for me to see how much I've progressed basically throughout training. The results of my testing, it helps dictate the paces that I'll do in between those tests for all my training. The swim test is a bit, they're all horrible really, if I'm being completely honest. The swim test is a 400 metre time trial and a 200 metre time trial with 10 minutes or so rest and recovery in between. That's like 16 lengths of a pool for the 400 metre and 8 lengths of a 25 metre pool for the 200 metre. It's an all-out effort, so it'll be interesting to see how I get on. A little bit nervous, but in a good way. Feel nice and warm after this effort. I'm going to be huffing, puffing, probably want to be a bit sick. It's that sort of vibe. I've had a good training block last few weeks, so no excuses on my part. Just try and go and do the best thing I can do now.
Hey, what you need, yeah? Man, I got it, wow. What you say, hey? We about it, get the cream, yeah. Why you slacking? Why you talking out the top? Boy, you capping.
That hurt. That hurt. I went out too quick, blew up towards the end. I think I was like 6:25, which is okay. I think it's pretty similar to what I did last time. So not quite the improvement I was hoping for, but just paced it a bit too wrong. I was probably aiming to do like 132s, 133s per 4 lengths. My first lot of 4 lengths was a 126, and then my arms got really pumped full of blood. The last 300 metres my pace dropped right off. My technique started to break down quite a lot, similar to what I did last time. I just can't help myself with that 400 metres. It's like trying to go out for a 5k and running the first kilometre way too hard, and then second, third, fourth, fifth are a lot harder and you just fall off a cliff. That's just what I've done there. I've got about 8 minutes now until the 200 metre effort, so hopefully I can pace that one a little bit better.
What you need, hey? Yeah, I got it. With the team, yeah.
My arms so heavy from the start there, but pace it a bit better. I think that was 3:07. So that was slightly better, I think, than what I did before. Not massive gains, really kind of stayed pretty similar. My first 400 really hurt my upper body, and then I was just struggling from that point onwards, but I didn't feel as fresh as I would have liked. That's test 1 of 3 done for the week, so nice to get one out of the way. I think it just shows me that when I try that little bit too hard, my body breaks down quite quickly. So there'll be moments in, potentially at the Paralympics in a race, if I make it there, where people will like surge up the pace to try and break people that are swimming behind them, try and open up a bit of a gap. It's something that I kind of have to be a little bit aware of, but it can be improved. So that's the swim test done today. So today's Tuesday. Tomorrow about 11 o'clock I get picked up and I'm on my way out to the Netherlands to
work on the F1 this weekend. We need to make sure we get our tests done and training done in and around that. So the run is probably the one that I'm most excited about for all 3 of the tests. My personal best at the minute is 21 minutes 18 seconds for a 5k, and my ultimate goal would for this test would to be to potentially try and get below 20 minutes for a 5k. That would be the dream scenario. If I'm in the 20s, I'll be happy. If I'm under 20, I'll be ecstatic. Excited for that one, but just gotta pace it right. Don't get too carried away. Nervous for this one. The bike test, it's a 20-minute all-out effort. We do a warm-up, and then it's 20 minutes where I'm pushing as much power as I possibly can. It's 10 o'clock now. I'm getting picked up at 11:30. This workout should take 45 minutes total. It's hard, it's brutal, it gets the muscles feeling like they're burning and my heart rate is completely jacked up, but that is the way that we test how much power I can produce over a solid amount of time. I need to switch the brain off and just dig in effectively. Alright, get into tri-bar position. Let's go. It's kind of a necessary evil. Obviously, if I had the choice, I'd be cycling in the mountains and it'd be lovely and picturesque and all of that kind of stuff. But being able to get really into the details of what powers I need to hold for a certain amount of time and being able to track that efficiently means that hopefully I can improve in the bike, which is the weakest of the 3 disciplines for me. So it's one that I know doing boring work is probably an approach I need to have. That was so rough. So I don't know what I averaged during that 20 minutes, but I know in terms of a percentage, I've just got a 15% boost on where I was in my last test after not training for a while, and compared to Kona, where I was at my peak for that Ironman distance, I've gone up just over 6%. Definitely getting stronger on the bike over shorter distances. It's good that we've seen an improvement. Well, that's that one done. Rough as ever. I've got to go pack now, shower, come on Bill, got to get cracked on because yeah, it's a busy morning ahead. Catch you guys in a bit. Obviously, travelling with a disability and having to bring lots of training equipment away with me whilst I'm working is not the easiest. So I have arrived at the airport. It's been a busy morning with that bike test. That took a lot out of me, and then rushing around and making sure I had all my bits, just queuing up, getting ready to check in. So I get my wheelchair tagged, check in my luggage. I've got a feeling with the blades in it, which is my running blades, so I've got to do this 5k test. So I normally bring them away, but it's normally borderline with the weight. So I'm hoping that I'm not overweight here. When I go away, bringing my running blades with me is actually a fairly simple process. I'm able to take my legs apart and put them in my suitcase. They just about fit. As a result of that, when I get there, with a couple of tightening of a few screws with an Allen key, I have my running blades built back up, and that allows me to get out and run wherever I am in the world. Running is probably the easiest of the 3 disciplines to do whilst I'm away, which is why out of the 3 tests we chose to do that one in the Netherlands. Not tomorrow, but the next day I'm meant to be doing my 5k test and seeing if I can get in the 20s. If I can go sub 20, I'll be chuffed. So right, so we're all checked in, just in the chair now. I always just take it to the gate because less likely to get issues. So sometimes there's a bit of a miscommunication of like needing assistance or not, because I can obviously do all the steps, walk onto the plane, do all that kind of stuff, but obviously they see me in a chair and sometimes I think that obviously that might not be my situation. So no, I kind of know the conversation, how it goes. Like I say, I travel quite a lot. Here we go. There is one in Holland. Finally arrived in Holland for the F1 Grand Prix here in Zandvoort. It's been a few weeks now since F1 has sort of been on the road and there's been a race, so there was a real buzz around the paddock. Everyone was excited to get the second half of the season underway. Felt really nice to be back in a Formula 1 paddock. I still had to think about this run test. 5k for time, I had to find a running track. I've now found a running track. It looks like a public running track, so I don't know the quality of the running track. I found one, it's about a 15-minute drive, so getting a little bit nervous. I'm just gonna get all my bits together now, order myself an Uber. The hassle that comes with having to carry prosthetic legs around, not always the most convenient. My energy was probably lowest for the 5k test. I'd done 2 tests, I'd travelled abroad, I'd been doing work bits, like there was a lot going on. I think this is it. The motivation levels and that sort of anticipation and excitement to do the test, as much as I was dreading it at the same time, that was definitely still right up there. First thing on the agenda is get ready. All that's left to do now is just put my blades on, get changed into my running shorts, put my creams on my leg to sort of protect them, and I'm trying to do it discreetly so everyone doesn't have to see me get exposed, because putting on prosthetics is not exactly like putting on a pair of shoes. There's a bit more to it. It's not glamorous, let me tell you that for free. Just got a warm up to do now, at least 10 minutes of steady running with maybe a few intervals. It might be tricky, but if I stick on the inside lane, it would be obviously 400 meters, 12.5 laps. Run session about to begin. Let's get this warm up going, eh? This is the moment where the excuses come in of, yeah, all the reasons start flooding my head as to why today might not be the day and all of that rubbish. What's in my control? My effort. 100% effort coming right up. Wish me luck, and yeah, I'm gonna give it my all and see how we get on. Alright, let's do this. It's time for the fun part. Let's go and get some PBs. 12.5 laps of the running track, 5km run test. You can probably see I was absolutely f***ed. This test was brutal as always. I probably went out a little bit hard. It felt like, honestly, after about 1.5, 2 kilometers, I was hanging on for dear life. It was not fun. That was honestly one of the roughest things. Still could have been worse. Like, I definitely dropped off. 5k, 20:31.7, 4:07 per kilometre pace. If I was being realistic and maybe slightly optimistic, I thought I'd be in the 20s. I think living in a bit of a pipe dream, thinking that I could do sub 20 5k. I'm just not there right now. I've taken over 9 minutes off my 5k. My heart rate was high, man. 184 average and 197 at the end. I was literally, I don't know if you could hear me on the camera as I was running past, I was so out of breath. Is that the one I'm most proud of? I'd say so. The bike test, it just felt like I'd improved, and I think I could have maybe gone a bit harder the first 10 minutes. The swim test I missed pace, but still improved. This run test, solid testing week, and it's done. Technically we've improved in all 3, or we've improved in all 3, so it's good steps forward. Still got a long way to go, don't get me wrong. My competitors at the Paralympics in my category, they're running somewhere in the 19s for the 5k at the end of the race, so I reckon if I was being realistic, I need to get my 5k down to, definitely I want to be low 18s realistically, maybe even just sneak in 17s in a few years time. That's where I need to get to. But to take over 45 seconds off, and this is really my first couple of months of back into training, is a really positive sign. We've got new technology coming with the blades. Hopefully we can shift a few kilos out of them as well, because I think they're definitely a bit heavy at the minute. And if we start doing that, start making those bits happen, bringing those marginal gains that I've learnt from my motorsport career, and if I've got your support behind me, I know anything is possible. So it's been a remarkable week. a solid block of training, and I've seen the progress firsthand now. We've got the evidence that suggests that I've improved in all 3 disciplines, but there's still work to be done. There's still much bigger goals that I'm aiming for, and I feel like I'm only just getting started. I still feel like there's more things that I can do, whether that's looking in how I recover better, whether that's looking at my nutrition and getting that more dialed in. There's more room to grow. I just want to do the best I possibly can, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that's possible. Thanks for all your support. I really appreciate all the love, the comments, and all the support, like I say. I hope you guys have enjoyed the behind the scenes of what testing week looks like, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.